Welcome to Monday on the Coffee Run. It is me, your fearless leader, Nicola, and I am very excited to talk with you today about hints of brilliance and badassery. So last week, can't remember if I told you or not, I was in Sydney hanging out with some peers, friends, colleagues of mine, and I'm in a mastermind group. And one of the things that we do every couple of months is we get together, we spend a day together usually, doing all sorts of learning, collaboration, problem solving, and things like that in person. Every other month we do it online. And one of the really cool things that we had done, and it's something that I recommended that you guys do publicly before, is we talked about the different things in each of these people in the group, what it was that inspired us about them, what it was that we saw as almost like being their, their most amazing talent, something that we admired about them. So before I had got there, I had my iPad out and I was writing about each person and what I thought, not what I thought, but what actually inspires me about all of these people individually. And then we had to do something one step further. Now, if you are part of a group, or even if you do this with your friends, it's something that's I find really quite confronting. And Dom and I were talking about this on our walk this morning, but I'll fill you in on that in a minute. One of the things that we had to do then was we had to actually say it to the people around the table. So if you imagine there's 10 of us and we're saying to each other's faces what we saw in them. So I would talk to Joe, for example, and the person next to me would talk to Joe, and then the person next to them, and then so on and so forth. Now, I've done this in a different way, and I wrote about this in Visible. One of the things that I've had you guys do is actually go up and post on social media to your friends and your peers and things like that, saying, hey, can you just let me know what you feel like are my biggest strengths? What is it that you think what do you think my biggest strengths are? Or what inspires you the most about me? Now, there are certain things that when I have done this in the past, and you've got to put in there, the disclaimer is only positive things, please. So if your biggest strength is complaining, we don't really want everybody telling us that, well, actually your biggest strength is complaining, because I wouldn't suggest that that's a positive thing. So the thing that came back, and I guess that we kind of expect certain words to be used, right? So you might have people say to you, oh, you're so inspiring, or, I just love how you're no bullshit, or, whatever it is that they say about you. They might say that you are a great listener, that you're a great communicator, that you really see people, or you make everybody have fun, or, whatever it is that people would generally say about you. We have this preconceived idea about who we are and what people are going to say about us, the positive stuff, the people who love us, what they're going to say about us. And we kind of expect that, I think. I expect people, only because people have said it to me for years about being inspiring and motivating and like a kick in the ass, and there's no bullshit and no fluff, and that's great. But I guess what's really interesting is to hear people articulate it at a deeper kind of level. And it really highlighted some things for me personally that I was just like, well, yeah, of course that's who I am, but I didn't think that was, anything really very special. So one of the things that I've done in the past when I'm a helper, right? So one of the things that I've done in the past when I've met a couple of these particular women, and I didn't even join the dots there were two of them that I did this with. Their daughters had been suffering with anxiety, their young daughters suffering with anxiety. And I said, give me your mailing address. I've got some crystals that I think would be really helpful for them. I've used them with my kids and it seems to have really helped. I'll pop some in the post for you. And so I did. It was just kind of it's just sort of what I do. And so one of the things that came out was about being generous and, willing to help. And it's kind of well, actually, it's just sort of part of who I am. I don't really think about it too much. So where I'm going with this is that it's one thing to ask the internet, what do you guys think are my strengths? What do you think is the biggest thing that inspires you about me? And this is you speaking to people, right? So I want you to actually go out and do this. What do you think are my biggest strengths? What do you think are the most amazing things about me that inspires you? It will feel pretty awkward, right? But the thing that we do, the reason that we do this, and the reason that I get you to do this is because quite often we don't see the things that other people see within us. We don't see the badassery. We don't see the brilliance outside of the stuff that we kind of know inherently and we kind of almost take for granted, right? The other thing that came up that I kind of always get is you've always got so much energy. You're like a little pocket rocket with all of the words. You know, that's pretty, that's I've always had people say that to me. So, you know, it's not really newsworthy to me. But to them, that was that. And then they kind of went deeper from there. So how I would extend this activity, hey, Joe, how I would extend this activity for you is go and post about it. But then I would also encourage you to FaceTime maybe half a dozen people and pre-frame it with, I find this really challenging. I actually, this is not something that kind of comes easy. I'm asking for some help and I'm wondering if you'd be willing to jump on FaceTime with me or Skype or Zoom or something on camera where these people can let you know what it is that inspires them about you. What do they think are your biggest strengths? What do they think are your most amazing talents? Now, the thing that's really challenging, I think, well, for me, that was really challenging about this, and this is what I was talking to Dom about this morning, is I find it really hard from people that I really care about. Then I feel like they're razzing me up, and I find it really a challenge actually to receive. I noticed that I go into my default mode, which is I deflect a little bit and I kind of make a joke, right? I kind of like ease that, like that build up and that not breathing by making a joke or something like that. Now, not to take away from what they're saying, but just to kind of ease this stuff that's whirring around inside of me. So when you're doing this, you might find it somewhat challenging to not downplay it, to not deflect it, to really just accept it, say thank you, without getting too emotional actually, and just be really open to receiving. And then the other thing that I want you to think about on the flip side of this is just sit and process. Once you've done all of that, sit and process how amazing it felt to have someone say those types of things about you to your face. How amazing and what a beautiful gift it is to have people share with you directly, not via a comment on a video, not via an email, which is all very lovely, not via messenger. I mean, that's great. We'll take praise and recommendations any way we can get them, right? But it's very different to actually receiving it in face-to-face outside of your really potentially like your really close friendship group or from your partner or something like that. So, and people without any agenda. I think that's probably the key thing there. So here's the things that I would like you to do. Number one, go and post up on your page and on your profile. Hey everybody, I'm just wondering if you can help me out. I'm just doing, I've been challenged by my mentor to do a little bit of research. And I'm just wondering what you guys think are my most positive, biggest strengths. And then the second part of that is like, what is it that you find the most inspiring about me? Okay, so go and post that out via text, is in a post. And then there might be some key people that come through. I wouldn't do your friends, and just ask them, say, hey, would you be willing to jump on Skype or FaceTime to share this with me? I want you to make sure you record it so that you've got a video of this so that you can sit there and play it back. If you have moments of self-doubt, which, you know, hands up, we all do. Number two, you know that we're human, right? So things come up and some days are good and some days are bad. So you've got the ability to actually replay it back and pull yourself up and out. So you're not just relying necessarily on the inner tools and things that you've got in place to be able to do this. If you don't have a group of people that you can do that with via like Skype or whatever, then that's okay. Just go out and do the text post and see what comes up, and keep this other one, this face-to-face one, in mind, and then access that as soon as you can with people that you feel like you can. What I feel, or what I know and what I've seen that this does for you is it gives you a glimpse into how other people see you. Now, it also might have you, a bit like what it was for me, have you going like, oh yeah, like I kind of do that. It's just sort of what I do. I didn't even realize that people would even think that that's really that special, or that different, or that amazing, or, so much of a strength. But really, if they're saying that about you, it means that it's perhaps something not actually particularly ordinary that they experience in their lives on a day-to-day basis. Otherwise, it would just be normal to them. It wouldn't be inspiring, okay? So I promise you it will help you. Get out there and do it, and let us know what it is that comes. Sorry guys, just had a call coming in. Have a really beautiful, awesome, and amazing day. My name is Nicola. I look forward to talking to you soon. Take care, rock on, and I'll talk to you later on.